think I'm live, but the camera's completely turned around, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just got a notification that you're live.
Okay, then I'm definitely live. And I definitely need to pull the live stream up.
Yo.
Christopher doesn't want to chat with us.
Well, I have to go do the dishes.
He has to go do the dishes. Because he's a responsible adult, and I'm just hanging out here.
Judith says hello.
Hi, Judith. I'll get the chat pulled up in a sec. When I'm a little bit more prepared. Oh. Hi, Audrey. Ooh. Where's my glasses? Do you know?
Yeah.
Where are my glasses?
Well, I thought I did. Now I'm not sure. I thought they were right here.
Did I put them away? Ugh. Oh, I put them away. I'm such a good glasses owner. Okay. That helps me read the chat a little bit better. Hi, Katie. Hi, Morgan. What is with the gasp face? I go live every single Sunday. This is nothing new. Hi.
You're so cute.
You're so cute. Do you want to say hi? Come say hi.
I said hi already.
But come say hi, baby.
But
you're so handsome. Look at him in his cute Hufflepuff shirt. You're such a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
See? Morgan wants you to say hi.
What's up? It's so far away. It's so far away.
Should I pull it closer? Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
All my crap that I have in front.
I'm so used to chat in my Twitch streams being like 30 seconds off from 30 seconds off from like what is actually happening in the moment. So it's weird seeing people reply to stuff so quickly.
Yeah, I know. It's really nice. It's always like this. I'm a Slytherin according to Pottermore.
You're a Ravenclaw and a Slytherin according to different things.
But I'm actually a Ravenclaw. Like, I'm actually a Ravenclaw.
You're a pretty heavy Slither claw. You're pretty heavily between the both of them, I think. Anyway, I'm 100% Hufflepuff. Nothing else.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
You're a Ravenclaw too. You love knowledge and learning and books and
I don't
stuff.
know about that. Well, I mean, yes, I like all that stuff, but I'm not good at it.
What do you mean you're not good at it? What do you mean you're not good at it?
I'm more good at Hufflepuff stuff. Just kind of being in the background.
I should read you guys a picture book.
Slytherin and Hufflepuff, yeah. I think, honestly, I could make a case for everybody being in every house, depending on what personality traits you decide to pull out of each person. But
she's saying that they're the perfect match.
I know, but I'm just saying that.
A case for that.
Like, I could be Ravenclaw in some cases, Gryffindor in some cases. You know, it's a fictionalized, slightly arbitrary thing.
Very arbitrary.
Anyway,
Hi,
but I like this
Elizabeth.
shirt, and I am a certified Hufflepuff and a proud Hufflepuff. So this is my shirt that I wear to signify that.
I think you're very cute in it.
Oh, thank you.
I love when you wear that.
Sorry, I mean the camera's up here, but I'm like trying to see the chat. But
They don't mind.
I'm gonna.
I mean, I mind.
Go do the dishes.
Because we don't get to
now.
see your handsome face.
I'm gonna go do the dishes now.
Okay, have fun. Thank you for being an adult. Alright. There's 3 people watching. Probably because it's so freaking late. And one of them, I think, is probably me. Someone there asked. It's true, though. And it's 99% of the time it's Christopher. Occasionally, I'll, like, make dinner or do something. Clean the bathroom. But, yeah, it's usually Christopher. Because that's how I roll. I'm such a mooch. Ooh. I don't know where... Oh gosh. gosh, I'm knocking them everywhere. Where is my crochet hook? Oh, here it is. What color should we make? I think I need to make a lot of high fantasy. So let's make that. Oh, thank you, Katie. I really like them a lot. I think they make me look like a much more interesting person than I am. Than I would without them, I guess. So, I like them. You should definitely do some crocheting. I have like 15 of these to make until I'm caught up, not including the books that I'm going to read for the rest of the month, and I want to be caught up by the end of February so I can do like a check-in. So I have a lot of crocheting to do over the next couple weeks. And I've been doing pretty good. I made like 5 of them yesterday in the car driving back from Steve's, but it's never enough. I could always do a book haul. We bought so many books over the last few days. It'd be very easy to do a very long haul. I don't know. Basically, I'm down for doing anything. I did the Read D&D-a-thon over the past couple weeks. It ended on Thursday, and then I've been participating in the Contemporary-a-thon the past couple days. So I feel kind of tired and was like so stressed about reading for the past few weeks, which is great. It was very motivating, and I don't feel burnt out. I just feel tired. So I just didn't have like the energy to like set up the proper live stream and go in the office and be all alone in there and all this stuff. Like, I wanted to sit on the couch. I wanted to be lazy. And yeah. You would have gone sick. You were sick. In what way? Stressing myself out by reading? I do that a lot. But honestly, for the past couple weeks, because I was doing this readathon and I was like 30 books in 14 days. I know it's crazy, but like I know I could do it if I really, really tried. I was like, forget it. I'm gonna do it and screw everything else. And it like really motivated me though, and I read like a ton of books, and it was like one of the most motivated I've been maybe my entire reading life. This might be the most motivated I've ever been. As far as reading goes, which is crazy. Like, I read so much. And like definitely the most motivated that I've been since August for the newts. Oh, crocheting in the car. I don't normally do it, but since we were driving a good distance, I did. I've been very lazy today. I'm just kind of worn out mentally. And I'm also still, like I said, participating in Contemporary-a-thon, and I would like to read at least one more, like, manga tonight, maybe 2. We'll see. That would bring my total for Contemporary-a-thon to, 7, 8, somewhere around there. I'm not totally sure. I don't remember, but I've read a decent amount for Contemporary-a-thon, so I'd be fine if I didn't read that one, but like I really want to. Crochet you a Moogle, like from Kingdom Hearts, a Moogle? For Read D&D-a-thon, I ended up making 10 characters. Which is, I know, a little excessive. It's just like so many books to wrap up. I feel like even, like weekly live shows sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna wrap up this many books, and like I don't really feel like talking about all the books that I've read because I don't have like coherent, like concise thoughts on them yet either. So like I want to like take some time to think about stuff. I have been doing a ton of rereads though. I like checked my rereading status for the past for the year so far, and I'm at like 30% rereads out of everything I've read, which is astounding. So there's so many rereads, but I've been enjoying it so much. Rereading is like the best ever, and I need to do more of it. I think I would like to make it a goal for myself this year is to reread. I don't know, like keep that around like the 20% mark. Like I was thinking like 10% of what I want to read this year should be. Oh, frick. I screwed this up. I have to go back. I have to rip out everything I just did. Why do I suck? Dang it! It was going so well until I ruined everything. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Well, I've never played Final Fantasy, so I didn't know they were originally from that. I mean, I could have assumed, but I've also been. I'm gonna participate in the March Disney Bound challenge, posted by like the Disney Bound Twitter or whatever. Not Twitter, Instagram. I did it last year, but I kind of petered off around the mid-month point, and I actually ended up taking a lot of photos that I never even posted for that. I just really wasn't in a great like mental place last year. Oh, you're welcome, Amber. Wasn't it marvelous? Oh, that book is so good. You only gave it 4 stars, so I don't know if you can still be my sister, but it's so good. I love that book so much. Like Disenchanted, I forgot how phenomenal it was, but like it's seriously amazing. I can't wait for book 3 now. I'm losing it over that series. It's so good. Which is like another reason that I want to like do more rereads. Is like I've like forgotten how much I love some of my favorite books, which is so stupid. Like I should be reading them because I love them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's see if I actually did it right this time, or if I should just completely start over. Apparently, I cannot talk and crochet at the same time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Boop. Boop. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's try this again. It's just she's just such a good writer, and her world building and her characters and her themes that she talks about and like everything is just like so phenomenal. That book's like heck long though for like what it is, especially, and like this is like a children's like middle grade technically. Actually, I would consider book 2 to be a lot more like young adult than it is middle grade, honestly, or like older middle grade, but it's like 15-hour audiobook, like even Nevermore, and like was like only 12 hours. Like that was really long. Anyway, I really need to make it a point to like reread all my favorite books that I haven't read in the past like 5 years, just so that I know that they're like still my favorites and that I still love them. And not like stress so much about like only reading new things and stuff. So anyway, my current read right now is I'm reading Maid Sama. It's like a manga. I've seen the anime for it before, and I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna read Maid Sama. So I'm like 5 pages into that. I also want to read the next volume in Yotsuba for my reread of that series. And then I also am just started, I'm like an hour or two into The Mistake by Elle Kennedy. I read The Deal by her at the end of in December, like mid-December, and I adored it. It was so good. Really great contemporary romance. It's like a sports romance, which is like not normally what I would read, but I got like really high praise, so I tried it, and I'm so glad I did. And so I just started The Mistake for Contemporary-a-thon, and I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit so far. So we'll see how that continues and if I continue liking it, but I'm sure I will because from what I've read, I really like Elle Kennedy. And I like how she does her characters, even though they are sports romances, which is, again, not super my jam. I don't know. Does anyone have anything they want me to chat about? I'm not like super interesting right now. I'm fine with whatever. Yeah, but for my book blanket so far, I think I've made around almost 50 squares. It's not squares, hexagons. So I've been keeping up pretty well, like 50 hexagons in about, about 50 days. Like, it's pretty good, especially for considering that I've been very tired the past couple weeks because of all the reading. Oh gosh, Katie. Wow. Yeah, good luck with that. I really like the idea of the create your own readathon, but like it just doesn't motivate me because that's how I already read is by setting goals for myself on like a weekly and daily basis. And so yeah, like I could set my goal, but like it's no different than what I'm doing anyway for the create your own readathon. So like it doesn't like push me to read more because that's already what I'm reading and would have set that goal or whatever. So I have like the goal to listen to 20 hours of audiobooks or 10 hours of physical reading each weekend. And like that's what it's been, and I've already like kicked its butt so far. This weekend I've listened to maybe like 23 hours, which is pretty good considering that we were hanging out with Steve one of the days. 23, 24, 25. I think that actually like 25 hours. I forgot one of the things that I listened to. Let's not. But something that is kind of language-esque related, although not really, but sort of, is I started playing the piano again today for the first time in like a year. I just have been so unmotivated to play it, and I was like really afraid that I wouldn't be able to do it, that I would have like forgotten everything and like suck. I'm not saying that I sounded great, but honestly, like I did okay. Like I was really like, cause it is like playing an instrument is like learning a language in a way, and I was like really afraid that I'd be hecka rusty. But honestly, I'm like I remember what all these notes are and what they look like and where they are, and I'm able to play it fairly decently. What motivated me to pick it up is that I was having my weekly chat with my friend Emily. We are doing a buddy read currently of The Masqueraders by Georgette Hare, and it's so fun. I'm living for this book. Honestly, if you just want a really, really fun and funny, with lots and lots of like melodrama and melodramatics and ridiculousness and like sword fights and masquerading and cross-dressing and like duels and like rebellions and oh my goodness, this book has like literally everything in it, and like secret romances and elopements, multiple elopements, and just like if you just like want like a super fun historical romance, like I highly recommend. It was written about 100 years ago. It came out, I think, in the 20s originally. And it's just like such a gem. I'm loving it. It's just like super, super fun. So we're currently on our last section for that. That's going to be the last section of the book that we read, and we're going to talk about it next Sunday. And I'm really excited. So anyway, on our weekly chat with Emily, though, for reading our, like, I'm a royal person, my royal we were talking about, like, all the different, like, adaptations of, like, Jane Austen movies and, like, other, like, classics and stuff. And we're talking about a lot of them, and she was like, I don't know, we're just, like, discussing, like, different adaptations, and I was, like, mentioned that I had this piano book that my mom gave me when I was just, like, 15 maybe, as a present for, I don't know why she bought it for me, but bless her. And it's the music from, like, the 1995 Pride and Prejudice, like the 1996 like Sense and Sensibility, like the 1996 like Emma, the one where she has brown hair, and no, not the 19 no, I said that wrong. Like the Gwyneth Paltrow blonde-haired Emma, and then the Persuasion from that time as well, from like 96. So it has music from all four of those. And I hadn't played from it for a really long time, obviously, because I haven't played the piano in like over a year. And so I pulled that book out because we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, I love the music from this and this and this. And so I pulled it out and I was playing them. Specifically, I don't usually ever play the ones from the Persuasion because they're mostly like Chopin preludes. I don't know. Actually, I don't mind the Chopin preludes from that Persuasion particularly, but like Chopin is like not my favorite romantic composer. He's like fine. He's very aggressive, I guess we can say. But the ones from those are actually quite pretty. Hi, Lily. Such a visceral reaction to Chopin. I don't know. It's just like he's not who I would like choose to listen to music from. Oh, good. How was your chat with your parents? I don't know. Like, give me some Tchaikovsky. Give me some Grieg. Give me other people over Chopin. Let's just say. I would die for Grieg. That music is phenomenal. Give me all the little like piano pieces that he did are like some of my utter favorites. Or like Debussy. Give me some Girl with the Flaxen Hair. Like, I don't need no Chopin. He's just very aggressive, and his intends to play his stuff sometimes. It's actually not that bad from that version, but it's just not what I was like in the mood to play. I'm like, why would I want to play like Chopin when I could play like the fun like music from like Pride and Prejudice, the one that's like and like your hands are like right on top of each other and it's like super fast and like really enjoyable. Like, why would I play that? Or the Emma, or like the when Mr. oh gosh, what's his name? Churchill arrives. Like, I love Mr. Churchill's arrival. That song is wonderful to play. It's just so fun. It's warm there. Yeah, that would be nice. I think it's supposed to start snowing at like 1 a.m. tonight and snow until like 5 p.m. tomorrow. That sounds fun. And I don't think we'll get work off for it either, which is lame. Okay. Like, he's fine. He definitely grew on me, like, when I was, like, a slightly older teenager, but, like, especially early in my teenage years, I was, like, not super happy with his stuff. What's his suggestion? was thinking of like putting band-aids or tape on my fingers. I've just been kind of lazy. But I was assuming that might work, but I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Ugh, get in there. Okay. And I don't feel as much pain with crocheting as I do with knitting. Knitting hurts my fingers a lot more. And voila. Another little hexagon. Lovely. I don't feel like that took that long. But anyway. You can go on the floor. Let's make another one. I read so much high fantasy recently. And then I also have to make a lot of like contemporaries because contemporary-a-thon. I've been doing a lot of that. Stress relief gloves with finger cots. I will have to look into those. Tell them thank you from me though. You'll have to see. I've definitely been building up a little bit of a tolerance. Like I said yesterday, I made like 5 of them, which astounds me because normally I was like only making 2 before it like really hurt. I made like 5 yesterday, so like I think I'm getting better at it as well. It's just something I hadn't done for a long time. I also haven't been playing piano for a long time, so like also like my fingers aren't as strong as they have been in the past. I have like no like finger tolerance anymore. Whereas like I used to have quite strong fingers. This is such a weird live stream. They help you a little bit. Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. And maybe I'll try the band-aids first just to like before I like look into those. Or like as I'm looking into them, because I don't know like where I'd even find those, but yeah. I'm thinking of buying one of those like Michael's like project carts that have been going all over like booktube like as like TBR carts, but I think I would actually use it for like my projects because I have so much crap all over like this table right now and all the time, and like Chris was like dying over the past 2 weeks because I had just so many like random piles of books out and all this stuff. He was just like, please put all your stuff away, and I'm like, I will, but I need it. Like, where am I supposed to put it? I need it. Like, and it doesn't really have a home anyway, so like double, what do I do with it? And so I think I'm gonna buy one of those, and that way I can like wheel it between the bedroom and the living room, and then I can just keep all my crap in one place and like keep it concise and consigned to like this one place. And then if I need to spread out over the table I can, but then I can just shove everything back on the cart. So that's another thing I'm thinking of buying soon. I went to Michael's and to buy another skein of yarn because my ball for low fantasy is getting so small. Like this is one that I've crocheted 2 off of, and this is my other one, so it's getting quite tiny. So I wanted to get another one just so I didn't run out and then like feel stressed and be like, oh my gosh, like I can't keep up because I need to go to Michael's, and Michael's isn't exactly like super, like it's close to our house, but it's not in the way of anything. Gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not like it's close to our work or anything. Like we have to go home and then like drive to Michael's, which like it's not that far away, like I said, but it's like out of the way, so it's very annoying to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we ended up going, and I was like, oh, I don't want to buy one like for like full price because I'm cheap, and I would want to buy like the nicer one that has like all the extra like accessories and stuff because I want to like put my pens in the pen holder and be able to hang stuff if I want to and all these different things. And so they gave me a 40% coupon though, and I'm like, hopefully that works for that. So I'm gonna go back in like a week or so and use my 40% coupon, and because it doesn't start until like the 24th, but it's good through the beginning of March, and I'm gonna go buy myself a project cart, and I'm very excited. I know, but we don't have like Amazon Prime, so we either have to pay for shipping or like build up to a larger amount. So, gosh dang. We just don't, Chris and I honestly, like, besides like food, we don't really buy very much stuff, like food and used books, and that's all we need to live. So, like, they didn't have one though. Like, I checked and they didn't have a 40% off. They had a 20% off purchase, but I was like, I'm still kind of cheap. Like, I want the 40% off. Thank you very much. So I just bought the single skein, and then they ended up giving me a 40% off coupon. I'm like, okay, that was what I will use it on next time. Gosh dang. So anyway, the past couple weeks as well have just been like really been bad, like pain weeks for myself. Like, I don't even want to think about how much like Excedrin and like pain relief cream I've put on my neck this week and last week. It's just like there's been like no like days when I didn't have it, and no, most of the days as well have been like days where like it's in the morning as well, so it's like I go to sleep with it and I wake up with it, and it's just like not been super fun. So I've been taking like a lot of like Excedrin, like, because like I need to be able to like function at work, to like not get like a migraine and feel like really sick all day. So I don't know. I'm like ready for this like batch to go away though, because it usually will last for like a few weeks or a month, and then it will like stop, and then I won't have any for a few weeks, and I'm like really ready for these few weeks. And I don't always have it like consistently every day, but like every day this week in the morning I've like woken up and had like neck pain and be like, okay, so it's one of those days again, yay. Like, I've already put stuff on my neck like 3 or 4 times today. I haven't taken any Excedrin yet today though. Like, I like to not take it unless I'm like really like starting to feel like nauseous. Usually the cream is enough. I'm just getting kind of annoyed. Like, and my neck is starting to hurt right now, so I think I'm gonna go put something on it in a sec, when I finish these last few stitches up for this row. But anyway, I really need to reread Ella Enchanted. And there's so many other books on my list as well. Judith knows, but I went to the library like last week, and I checked out so many books from the library. Like, I need them because it's not like I own like thousands of books to read. So I checked out a ton of books from the library, and they're all like sitting over there, and they're going, read me, but I couldn't because it was the Read D&D-a-thon and then the Contemporary-a-thon. So now that the Contemporary-a-thon is going to be over, I'm going to read the crap out of them, and I'm so excited. It's mostly like mangas and graphic novels. I have like the first issue of like Fables. I have the Cory Doctorow book, In Real Life. I have Ouran High School Host Club. I have gosh, what else? I checked out the next volume of Yotsuba so I could finally read that. I have oh gosh, that one called Cucumber Quest. I checked out so many, and I'm so excited. So also expect a ton of graphic novels from me being read very soon. Gosh. Alright, that's fine. Ugh. In case anyone's wondering what I use, this is like the best pain relief cream that I've used so far. It's Icy Hot Pain Relieving Cream, and it's pretty basic, but I've tried some of their other ones, some of the other ones like specifically from Icy Hot and from different brands, and this is the only one that like consistently like is fairly pain-free, like fairly burn-free, I guess I should say, because sometimes when you put this on, and sometimes if you put it on like multiple times in a row, it like really like doesn't feel good, but like it also takes the other pain away, so it's like, oh, at least it's a new pain. And I don't know. I really like this one a lot though. I've been using it consistently for, I don't know, maybe 6 months, and I really, really like it. It works wonders for me. And yes, I still have my hair shaved, in case anyone's been wondering. I do still have it shaved, and you can't even really see it from that shot. Let's try that again. I do still have my hair shaved, and I adore it. It doesn't numb my fingers. I mean, I always wash my hands after, but no, it doesn't numb my fingers at all. And the patches they have for if you're traveling. I've never tried their patches. Is it almost more like a heat or like a ice pack type thing, or is it like something that you like physically like put on and peel? I'm curious because I've never used one. I use so much of this stuff, by the way, though. I've gone through like, I don't know, since I started using it. I don't know when I started using it. It was definitely, I think maybe it was around October. And I've gone through like 4 tubes of this, and I always have one in my apron pocket at work, and I always have one in my purse. Because I always have at least one of those things like within like hand grab distance of me. And then if I'm in the car, I just use like a baby wipe to like wipe it off. I use so much of this, you guys. Like, I usually just keep on applying it till like I really feel it like working. But I still have my hair shaved, and I adore it. Like, how much it helps me access that part of my head is like life changing. I don't know if I'll ever go back to not having a shaved head. It's like made a huge difference, and I love it. Hi Diana. It's a stick and peel. Yeah, most of my neck pain is like up in my hair. So I don't know how well that would work for me, but for back pain, I can see that being like awesome. You use the stick and peel when you're traveling. Awesome. I would say like, oh, look into it, but like I don't think it will be like super effective on this like part of my body. Ugh. Okay, I feel like about 8 times better now, so I'm gonna go fill up my water and then put this back in my purse, wash my hands, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's so thrilling. Yeah, like I said, I always just like wipe stuff off with like baby wipes, so it's usually fine, and I never like have issues with like touching my eyes and my eyes burning or stuff. I like wipe them off fairly well. Plus, if I ever really needed to, I could always say like, babe, I need to stop and wash my hands, and Chris would let me. He's usually the one driving. And by usually, I mean, like, all the time driving. You love my hoodie. Oh, thanks. It's so stinking cute. I bought, well, I put it on my Christmas list, but it was from H&M, and, like, it has ears. It's pretty much the best thing ever. So, anyway. I adore it. It's not like a good hoodie to wear on top of other things. Like, I pretty much just have to wear it on its own, like without shirts underneath, because it's not like super tight, but it's like not like super loose either. And it's also very short, and I don't have any shirts that are like shorter than it. So it's not something that I ever wear on top of like anything else. But it's like the perfect length to wear with my leggings, and I love that. I also like, I'm gonna go through my closet during March, throughout the month of March, and I'm gonna get rid of a lot of the stuff because it just doesn't fit me anymore. And I was like very frustrated with work, with work, getting ready for work the other day. I kind of like hit a breaking point where I tried on, no joke, like 4 or 5 things for work, and none of them fit because I gained so much weight. And I was just kind of like, I just need to buy some more stuff that I really, really love, so I can feel like I can get rid of all this stuff that I don't love and that doesn't fit me anymore. And so I did that today, and I bought, well, I've been doing it over the past few days, and I bought like a ton of stuff from thrift stores. There was like a big sale at the thrift stores near us, and so I bought a lot of stuff, and I'm really so excited. I buy my jeans from Walmart. They have some really great pairs that fit me like amazingly. So I'm set on pants. I mostly just needed like shirts that didn't like, that I could actually fit over my arms. And also like, maybe TMI, y'all probably don't care, but like also like my chest is a lot bigger than it was even a couple years ago. And so like also like a lot of shirts are just really tight in like basically this whole area. So I just need to like get rid of a ton of stuff that just like is dragging me down and making me like feel frustrated, because like I feel like I'm wasting so much time by like trying to put on clothes in the morning and like not being able to wear it. So anyway, TMI. But I bought a lot of stuff and I'm super excited about it. I bought, my favorite thing that I bought though, is not something that like I would probably wear to work. Like I might, but I just don't tend to wear like leggings to work, mostly because also it's just like really cold and they're not exactly warm. So I'll usually wear like jeans to work. But I bought this pair of leggings. It's from Lularoe, however you say that. I've never had a pair of leggings from them before, but they're in perfect condition, and they're like this nice like shade of blue. It's like a fairly bright blue with like a little bit of like darkness to it, and it just has like skeletons on it. But they're so cute, and they're like falling apart, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. I cannot wait to wear them. They're my like,
The skeletons are falling apart,
yeah.
not the leggings.
Yes.
The leggings are falling.
The leggings aren't falling apart, the skeletons are falling apart, and they're so freaking cute. And
These new leggings I just bought are totally falling apart.
No!
It's great.
No, the skeletons are falling apart, and they're like adorable, and I want to like take a selfie of me wearing them with like From Here to Eternity, and like send it to Caitlin Doty and be like, look at me rocking death. Yay. I love it. Anyway though, that whole tangent started with, I'm planning on doing Disney Bounds for the March Disney Bound challenge. So while I'm like prepping a lot right now and picking out outfits a lot right now for the March Disney Bound challenge, and honestly, a lot of the prompts from like the first half of the month, like I find super inspiring, and I'm like, yes, I have something I want to wear for this. Yes, I have something I want to wear for this. And then the prompts for like the second half of the month are like garbage. To give examples, prompts from the first half of the month, I have them all written down right here. Prompts from the first half of the month are characters from these movies, like from Rapunzel, from Pixar, from Pooh, like Winnie the Pooh, from Zootopia, from The Princess and the Frog, like from Marvel movies, just any Disney heroine, Atlantis, Tarzan, Rescuers, Snow White, even Treasure Planet. And then this prompts from the second half of the month are like 80s style. Mary Poppins Returns, which I haven't seen. Spring trends, like I know what's fashionable. Kim Possible. The Incredibles, which like it's like a modern movie. Like if you're Disney bounding as them, you're either dressed in red or you're just wearing normal clothes. That is literally copying what they're wearing in their daily
Incredibles
lives.
2 has a lot of new supers in it, so you can...
But I haven't seen Incredibles 2.
Well, let's watch Incredibles 2. We
No.
can look at the characters. It's so good, though.
Descendants?
Don't scoff at Incredibles 2. Incredibles is awesome.
Descendants.
What's Descendants?
That, like, stupid Disney movies with, like, those, like,
dumb.
the teenage descendants of, like, Disney villains.
Why are they doing such dumb ones like Kim Possible and Descendants? That's so stupid.
And I'm like...
That's not Disney. I mean, it is, but it's not.
It's stupid new Disney, and I'm, just, like, not...
Just throw it over.
I'm trying!
I'm trying, but you're not trying very hard.
And it's just like, and Oliver and Company, they're all like dogs, so they're all brown. I do not own anything brown. And,
I love Descendants.
Meet the Robinsons, like, again, like, I just don't feel inspired by any of these.
She thought the leggings were falling apart.
Oh, okay, no.
You made it sound like the leggings were falling apart.
The leggings are perfect. Do you want to grab them for me?
Where are they?
They're in the laundry basket.
Okay, I guess.
They're so cute. We are married. We've been married. June will be our 3-year wedding anniversary, which is crazy. Oh, thanks, Morgan. I don't think I would have been able to sleep if you hadn't said goodnight to me. Do you want to see my death leggings? You're so pleased with yourself. Here, let me show you them. My skeleton leggings. They're so cute. I'm dying. You can see that pretty well, right? Look at them. There's like skeletons falling apart, and they're the best thing ever. And I am obsessed. As I throw them on the ground. I know, they're so cute. I like saw them and I was like, if I don't get these, I'll die. If I don't get these, I will turn into them. A skeleton falling apart.
Nice.
So, I had to get them. When we made our engagement announcement, yeah, that was... You still wrote the pillows.
The pillows are over here. You could have taken them anytime.
I will grab my own pillow, sir.
Wait, no, take this one.
Wait,
why don't you take this one?
Because I have this one and it says, just one more chapter. I'm like trying to hold it to the computer so that the computer is where the camera is.
No.
I got this as part of my Christmas present. Yeah, the engagement announcement. It was like so out of the blue too, I feel like, because like no one knew that we were even friends. Let alone like getting married.
Yeah.
Let alone dating.
Well, still, people did, but we didn't like show it a lot. And like
nobody really knew though.
Well, but no one really watched both of us. There wasn't a whole lot of people that were like crossed over between the two of us.
Yeah.
So
there were very few, and like a few people I think like guessed we were like becoming close, but I don't think they were thinking like, oh, they're like dating and are about to get engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did like a couple videos together in between. But like, yeah.
Did we?
We did a couple vlogs.
No, we
Didn't
didn't.
we? We did one. Maybe we just did one vlog.
I think just one. That was for like the booktubeathon, which isn't even booktubeathon anymore. I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh, and we did one when I came down. I made one when I came down to get a job, but we were already engaged at that point. So we didn't do any videos together while we were dating. So, whoops.
We just wanted to spend our time together, so. Oh, that was so weird though. And I'm like thinking back to who I was, like when you married me or got engaged to me, like bless you, thank you. I was pretty intolerable, so. And he doesn't deny it. He's like, yeah.
What?
But
No, shut up. No, no, you weren't. What are you talking? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
He's like, it's the truth, though.
No.
Like, definitely use, like, a love potion on him.
No. You're still the same person. You're just... I don't know. You're still the same.
I like myself a lot better now than I used to, though.
The only thing that changed is how you felt about yourself.
And my personality.
Your personality hasn't really changed.
I don't think that's true.
Not towards, like, me, and not towards... I don't know. I don't see your personality has changed at all. But...
do you want to tell people what you're reading right now?
Oh, I guess. I mean, sure.
I'm so excited. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Which he's never
it's a
played.
manga?
He's never played the game of.
It is based on the game. I looked that up. The game came first, and then they had someone. These are new stories, I guess, that don't have anything to do with the game. They're just using the characters. So all of these are brand new stories that don't have anything to do with the game.
Oh, sweet.
So
okay.
I'm not spoiling myself by reading these because the game is a different story. Apparently.
Okay.
So
nice. Well, I really like Phoenix Wright.
This is
Ace Attorney.
Incredibly ridiculous. She just bought these today at the thrift store, and she found 5 of them, and I don't know. She's been wanting me to play the game or watch someone play the game, and I'm going to at some point. But I've been reading another book, but I needed something relaxing with pictures, I guess, right now.
Pictures make everything better. Amber says she's glad you're in the family.
Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad I'm in the family too.
No, it was so perfect. Like I watched through like almost the entirety of the book section, and I was like, oh, there's not really anything, and then I walked to the young adult section, and all 5 of those were sitting there. Show them what else was sitting there.
Okay. Are these just these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also sitting in the young adult section.
These are Legend of Zelda graphic novels? Manga, yeah, whatever. Same thing.
No, they're not the same thing.
You can call them the same thing.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
You can't call if you called a graphic novel a manga, people would flip.
Okay, not all graphic novels are mangas, but all mangas are graphic novels.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. These are called graphic novels. All mangas are graphic novels, but all graphic novels are not manga. Anyway, so we got 4 Swords 1 and 2, The Minish Cap, Majora's Mask, and Oracle of Ages. So we got 5 of them. I'm
hecka excited, especially since they have the Minish Cap. I love the Minish Cap.
You never see manga at Savers, so
very rarely, and
especially not sets. It's just random copies that are like all beaten up and whatnot.
Like oh, I really want like the 18th copy of like Black Butler or whatever it's called,
or like the 60th volume of One Piece or
something. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyway, hi Dyslexic Bubble. Yeah, it was very cool when I saw those, and I was like, oh my gosh, how many books did you buy when shopping with Steve? 50. Which is way too many. I love how they play argue, then Chris covers her face with books.
I didn't cover her face, I just put them up to the camera.
That's what he does to make me shut up. But they have the Minish Cap, and I adore the Minish Cap. The Minish Cap is actually the first Zelda game that I ever experienced, which is maybe why I love it so much, but it's also
I've never played the Minish Cap. I don't know anything about it at all.
It was on Game Boy Advanced, I think, maybe.
Wind Waker is still the best.
You haven't played any of the ones, so you can't actually say that.
I'm really excited to play Breath of the Wild.
How about you try Majora's Mask and then still tell me that Wind Waker is the best?
Wind Waker is the best, and will always be the best.
Majora's Mask is my absolute favorite. Oh my word, that game, like, I think I just really like time travel games because Majora's Mask is like in my top, like, I don't know, top 50 favorite video games of all time, and then Monkey Island sort of has like time traveling in it, and that's like one of my favorite. Not like quite time travel, but it's like very weird. And that's one of my favorite video games. Chrono Trigger is my favorite video game of all time, and that's like totally all time travel. I mean, I just like time travel in video games.
Guess so.
Guess so. But I don't know if I like time travel movies. Like Somewhere in Time can go suck it. I hate that movie. The music is gorgeous.
I don't know that movie.
It's so stupid.
Just
if anyone doesn't want to be spoiled on the plot of Somewhere in Time, plug your ears for about 20 seconds. But basically, this guy like figures out in his brain how to make himself go back in time, but like actually go back in time, but like just in his head. By like dressing in that and just like saying I live in like 1920, I live in 1920, I live in 19 until he like time ports into like time travels into 1920, and then he falls in love with a girl there, and then like right when they're like about to get married and be happy or whatever, then he like finds a penny that he left in his pocket from like the 60s or whatever, so then he like transports back into the 60s and like can never like or the 80s or whatever it is, and like and can never be with her again. I can't make himself go back. And it's like super depressing and super stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she like comes to him as like an old lady and like sits in like and like sees him or whatever, and it's like really depressing because she knows who he is, but like he has no idea who she is. And the reason that he goes back there in the first place is because he like is like at this like old hotel or something, and there's like a picture of her on the wall, and he's like, I must be with her. So he like forces himself back in time. It's so stupid. I hate it so much.
Heard of that. Sounds a little bit like Midnight in Paris, which is, you know, it's Woody Allen, so yikes. But it's, I mean, I like the movie. It's a good movie, but it's like this character who is kind of wandering along in Paris and just like happens upon, he's like a writer and he wants to live in like the old times with like all the writers living together and working together, and like, and he just happens to like run into this carriage or whatever, and it's filled with old timey people, and he thinks it's like just like a fun thing they're doing or something. As is what I'm remembering of the movie anyway. And then he's like suddenly back in time with like all these old writers, and he like, yeah, it's a very atmospheric movie. It's good, but anyway, that kind of reminds me. There's some like dude wanting to be going back in time, and then he just suddenly is back in time.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like lazy. Diana says her favorite is Link to the Past, which again, multiple time things, and then I haven't experienced all of Link to the Past. I've only like experienced, I think, about half of it. Amber said she read the book last year, didn't know the book could be worse than the movie. Of Somewhere in Time. That movie's garbage. It pisses me off. I remember when I watched that for the first time, and I was like 15, and I was like, wow, this music like stirs my soul, and I like took it to my piano teacher and made her like let me learn it for one of our lessons. But even then, when I watched it, I was like, wow, this music I love, but like this movie can also go die because it sucks. I'm like trying to think of like other time travel-y things that I like. I don't know. I haven't read enough. Maybe I need to read more time travel. Maybe I need to go read Ruby Red, which I do want to read at some point. But like, I do not expect that book to be high literature.
Read 11/22/63.
Oh, I do want to read that. That's on my list to read this year.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
I think I'm gonna make that be his first book that I read by him.
That sounds like a first book to read by him. I'll maybe buddy read it with you.
Okay.
Just because I like that book a lot.
Yeah. I assume I will probably like it as well. But
I mean, I don't know. You might not like his writing.
I might not.
He's a little bit wordy, but
I don't really like very wordy.
I know. That's why I'm saying you might not like it, but you might like the story. So
I feel like if the story is compelling, I can push through.
Yeah.
Quantum Leap novelization. Ooh, I really like Discworld. I've only read 3 of them so far, but like I adore them. Discworld is seriously phenomenal. I just laugh so much while I read them. Like it's just so fun. I definitely want to read at least 2 more of them this year. I don't know. The thing is, like, I want to make my way through that series because I really love the series, but I also like don't want to because then they will all be read and I will be sad, and I don't know. That doesn't make sense because there's like 40 of them, so it will literally take me forever to get through them all if I keep going at this snail's pace. But I can drag them out. But then I also already really want to reread The Color of Magic because like I think I will have so much more like insight on it now that I've also read like the next Rincewind book. So I'm like, I don't know. I just like really need to just like read all of them. I don't know. I have no idea
What?
if all of them are on audio. Oh, he was a typo. I was like, what? I'm not sure if they're on audio. I haven't checked. I think some of them, I know I've seen at least some of them on What's Its Face on Audible, but like, I think there's some versions that are like exclusive to like UK and stuff, which is so annoying. Your library has the first one on audio. Nice. I am reading publication order. I couldn't not. It would drive me bananas not to. So I'm choosing to do it that way, and so far I've really enjoyed it. And now that I've like gotten used to his writing more, I'm just enjoying them more and more as I go. I definitely need to read book 4 soon. I think is Mort the next book or is Sorcerer the next book? I'm not sure, but it's like one of those 2, I think, and I'm excited. Yesterday when we were with Steve, I'm such a little mooch. Well, one, I stole a couple of his books and took them with me, but they were books he was getting rid of anyway, so he can just shut it. But as I'm so ungrateful. But I'm also such a little mooch because he's sitting there talking about how for like donating some books to like this library in Vermont that they ended up giving him like a library card even though he's like not a Vermont citizen. And I was like, he's like, but I've never used it. And he's like, I'm never gonna use it because I don't live in freaking Vermont. And I was like, can I have it? I didn't actually take it. I just took a picture of it. And now I have a library card from Vermont. I told him, I'm like, I'm going to use this and check out books digitally. And he was like, you can do that? Do you really use digital books that much? And I'm like, obviously you never watched any of my videos because I do nothing but read digital audiobooks from the library. That's like most of my reading. So I did that. I took his library card. There's like a very small selection, and I'm now have a library card from Vermont. So there we go. Yep, it does. It's connected to into Overdrive, and I'm like, yes. So I now have library cards from California, Utah, Kansas, Indiana, Massachusetts, Colorado, Maryland, and Florida, and North Carolina.
And Vermont.
I have I'm such a library card hoarder, but I definitely use them, so it's okay. Ugh. Really though, but that's what I do. Is they're all like from like family members or close friends though, and I just say, hey, I will give you my library card if you give me yours, and then this happens where it's so cute though. For the Vermont library though, they only have you can only check out 3 books at a time. I'm like, that's so precious. I mean, I would be hecka pissed if that was my only access to the library was like 3. I would be so sad.
Mhm.
Like, wait on hold for this book for like months and months and months, and then be like, oh, but you have 3 books checked out already, so you have to return one, and blah blah blah. It would definitely make me like hone my reading, but as it is, I can just go as bananas as I want. A library in Indiana and 2 different counties in Ohio. That's how it is here. For Massachusetts, we have library cards, 3 library cards for Massachusetts.
Yeah. We have Boston. They all have like special names except for Boston. Boston's just Boston. But then there's Minuteman and C.W. Mars.
And then on top of that, they also did like a lending program through C.
Oh yeah, so there's
through
the
that as
Sales, there's Old Colony, there's the Clams Network. We got like 4 more library systems.
Noble.
And Noble, there's 4 more library systems that we have access to because of those cards.
Yeah, because they were just like, oh, well, we're just gonna give access.
So because of we each have cards, so like because of our cards, we now have access to like I don't know, like up like 10 different. So meaning like we can check out 10 times the amount, like, you know, it's great.
I think I ruined this, but I don't know how.
Uh-oh.
I think I didn't leave a hole here, maybe? Or did I? I'm confused. I'm just gonna tear it out.
Here, since I'm here, I'll show you real quick.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
All right. I'll show you. So this is not all Giselle's stuff. This is not all my stuff. We do have stuff in amongst this stuff, but this is like
a lot of them are like my sisters. Like
sisters, some friends,
yeah,
and all this stuff. So this is all the stuff we have checked out right now on Libby on /Overdrive through our libraries.
Yeah, it's not all mine.
This is not all ours.
It's that 10 different people are like using these library cards, and we're all massive readers.
This is everything that's currently checked out. I'm not even sure how long this is.
Super excessive.
Look how I'm not even. Yeah, that's holy crap. This is longer than I realized it was. Oh, we just got Well of Ascension. Oh, we should start listening to that. So that's all the loans that we have out right now.
Oh my gosh, do you want to see
here's all the holds that we have out right now. Your phone's being used, yeah. Here's all the holds that we have out right now.
My phone glitched out last week, and every single book on my Libby right now.
Oh, you can't even really see it. The screen's not it's too bright, but it's, you can kind of get the gist of how long I've been scrolling for.
Yeah, but every single book on my Libby right now has the same cover for some reason, and it's all Skyward by Brandon Sanderson.
Every single book has the cover. Every time she listens to a book, she's listening to Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, no matter what.
And I was like listening to it, and Chris was like, "You're listening to Skyward?" And I'm like, "I'm not listening to Skyward. I'm listening to freaking like, I don't know what, but I've listened to like 12 books so far since it happened, and they're all just like, you're listening to Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and it's so annoying scrolling through my phone. And it happened like 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half ago, and it's like continued to be glitched. And like
you're gonna have to delete the app and reinstall it. That's the only way it's gonna fix it.
Well, the new books that are getting checked out though don't have that problem.
Oh, they don't.
So
okay, so you're just waiting for them all to get returned, and then eventually
it happens for the holds as well. So
all those holds are gonna have it.
Yeah. So as they come over, they're all gonna still have the Skyward.
So you're still gonna have Skyward for like the next year.
Probably. Because some of the books that are like, oh, your estimated date of getting this book is like 6 months. Like, oh great, Skyward by Brandon Sanderson is going to be the cover for this book for like 6 months.
Unless you delete the app and reinstall it.
Yeah, and I don't really feel like doing that. But anyway, it was really funny, but I was like, what the heck? And then I obviously have closed the app since then, and I don't feel like deleting it, reinstalling it. Like, it will fix itself eventually, but it was really funny.
You might also be able to delete the cache somewhere. I don't know if it'll like delete all the libraries that we have connected to it though. So
I restarted my phone like twice.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I know, but she just said, "Oh, just try restarting your phone."
Oh no, yeah, that doesn't do anything. Clearing the cache for the app itself, but I'm not sure if that would. It might. So clearing the cache is like, it might delete all of the pictures and like you have to reload all the pictures when you go back to the app. So we can try that, but I'm also not sure if that'll like. I don't think it'll delete the libraries. I think it'll keep the libraries and all the library information. It'll just delete the images, possibly.
Yeah, I don't really care that much. Like, it's not super affecting me. It's just really annoying when I'm like, oh, I want to listen to so and so book, and I start scrolling and I'm like, I literally can't find this book, and then I have to go and
Yeah, I don't look at the names. I just look at the cover and like I know what cover I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So
So I have to like go and I have to go sort it by title, and then I have to scroll through and find it by title, and then I go back to date soonest due and stuff, and it's just like frustrating, but it's also like first world problems. So yeah. I'm a mermaid. The way I'm sitting right now, I'm like with my anyway. So that's me recently. Let me see. I'm like I don't know if there's anything else exciting to talk about. This was kind of just like my brain dump. I have work tomorrow. I'm on Monday through Friday 9 to 5 schedule, which is awesome. Also, the lady in the gifts department has been talking about how she really, really wants to steal me from books and take me to gifts, which honestly I wouldn't be super opposed to at this point because I'm getting so frustrated with the book department. It doesn't even like look like a bookstore, I swear. It's just like, it's so empty and depressing, and all they care about is having a certain amount of number of like fiscal amounts of books. So like you have to keep it under this certain like fiscal amount. So like it's very frustrating when they're returning books that have X amount of sales because they didn't sell within 6 months or 9 months, and it's like she returned Black Beauty because it hadn't sold in 6 months, and I'm like, but it's Black Beauty. It's a classic. Everyone knows what Black Beauty is, and it will get bought. Why are you returning it because it hasn't sold in 6 months? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So like, I'm getting very, 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 very frustrated with books. So if she steals me to gifts, I honestly wouldn't be too upset about it, and it means that I could listen to audiobooks some of the time, potentially. And like, I think I would still work in books partially, but I would be in like gifts partially, and I think it would help like balance my brain out because it gives me a break from the people that are like driving me a little nuts. So yes, Monday to Friday is permanent now. So Judith says it's nice getting a Drizzle and Chris stream. So I don't know. That's like me complaining about work, but also, I don't know. I don't know how to say this. Maybe I shouldn't, but not all of the managers. Not also just are they not like super professional. That's not what I'm talking about. But also just like they don't treat the people that they are managing in a very professional way, I guess I should say, like losing temper and acting like not responding well to stuff and not being a good manager, on top of just like maybe not being super professional. And like, I've had issues with most of the people in books in that regard, whereas the person who's in charge of gifts, even if she's having like the hardest of hard weeks or days or whatever, she's never once like gotten like upset with me for like asking too many questions or doing this or that or like ruining something. Like, she's never like gotten upset with me, which is also just like really nice, and I feel like that's what you should do as a manager, like, is not take it out on the people that you're managing, but they do. And so it's also just like a nice relief to be back there because I know I'm not gonna get like people's like anger management like taken out on me. Like, I shouldn't have to have that. So it's also just like would be like a nice break to like be able to go back there and know that I'm not gonna like have people treating me like I'm stupid or getting mad at me for things that I know they shouldn't be getting mad at me about. So anyway, Yes, score indeed. You have system testing all day tomorrow. That sounds a dream. So fun.
Just those words together. System testing all day. Just like, what does that even mean?
Sounds delightful. Does anyone want a book haul?
Oh, for what?
The books that we bought.
Oh, jeez, but they're all nicely stacked over there.
We can bring them over in nice stacks. Does anyone want a book haul?
Okay.
If not, we don't have to. And it's pretty much just going to be like, this is what we bought, but like...
I mean, look who you're asking.
But like, this is what we bought, but like, we're not going to have anything to say about them, or at least I won't. Because a lot of the stuff, like, they had like that bag sale, where it's like, oh, $7 for a bag, or whatever. And like, I bought a lot of books that like, I don't necessarily know about, but I've like, had on my TBR for a while. Or like, had on my radar for a while. So, anyway. And a couple people are like, yes, and then Diana's just like, sure. I guess it's forced upon us. They're all split into the stacks of like where we
are gonna put them in our apartment.
Yes.
If you watched our apartment bookshelf tour and stuff, then you'll know that our apartment is split up into some specific genres.
So here's the first two stacks. This is general fiction,
and
mystery, and romance.
Sitting well.
And then this is fantasy. I don't know anything about this book really, but I've just heard a lot of positive things about it at the bookstore, Beneath the Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan. And it was in the bag room, and it didn't cost anything because the bag would have cost the same amount with it as without it. So I did a bad thing and I bought it. Anyway. And then I also got, I haven't read a Helen Hunting book before, but they had Good Luck Charm in the bag room as well. And I was like, I might as well. How long are you going to keep streaming? You missed the first half. I don't know. Probably not like too much longer. I don't want to give myself a headache. But for a little bit longer at least.
A little bit. Cold.
You're kind of met on everything. You're getting over bronchitis. That sounds delightful too. Feel better, gosh. The next book is not.
I take offense to that, Chris. Sorry. What, are you just going down this pile or something? Yeah. Okay.
I talked about two.
This is 7 for Secret, which is the third book by Lindsay Fay in I don't even know what the series is called, but the first book is Gods of Gotham, which I literally just got in hardcover last time we were with Steve.
Oh.
So now I have this one. This is the third one. I haven't read the second one yet. Or the third one, obviously. So, but I want to keep going with the series, so I don't want to collect them. So.
Nice.
I think this is the third one. It might be the second one, actually. I'm not entirely sure, but I want the series because I want to keep reading them. So.
How come your first book doesn't have a dragon on the cover? Is there any reason it would have a dragon on the cover?
Beneath a Scarlet Sky. Or maybe it just looks like it should have a dragon on the cover.
Oh, is it you're saying? Like it looks like...
It's very moody. It's very like fantasy-esque, yeah.
Looks like the...
And maybe she's asking why aren't you showing us fantasy?
No, you just really want to read a dragon book.
Gotcha.
This one has a dragon on the cover. It's one of the Temerain, is that how you say that?
I have no idea.
Temerain books by Naomi Novik. I really like the two Naomi Novik books that I read. So I picked this one up because I don't think we have it. I guess I should have checked that. But I'm pretty sure we don't have it. Where's Naomi Novik's books?
Probably in this nonsense right here. Oh wait, no, she should be down there. It's probably she probably right there.
Oh, there she is. We have not this one. We have His Majesty's Dragon, and we have Thorn of Jade. Are the two that we have. So now we have this one, which I have not read any of the books in the series yet.
Those are the first two.
Yeah.
And this is not connected at all to that.
They are. It is.
It doesn't have like the book number on it.
It is though. It's part of that series.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, I got
around 3,000.
Around what?
3,000.
How many books do we have?
Yeah,
Oh, we have over 3,000 now.
I know. But
Well,
around
I
there.
bought Not Just Burning and Mississippi Blood by Greg Iles. Missing the Bone Tree, which goes in between the two of them, but this is the Not Just Burning trilogy. And so he wrote 3 books about a character called Pen Cage. I read the first one, and I'm going to read the second one very, very soon because I really liked it. I literally just posted a little mini review on Twitter today on that first book that I read. It's called The Quiet Game, about the Pen Cage character, and I really liked it. So I'm gonna read all of them. So 3 books came out, and then he made the Not Just Burning trilogy, which starts with Not Just Burning and ends with Mississippi Blood. And then I also bought Mortal Fear by him, which is not connected to that series at all. So I liked his writing, so I'll see what I feel about something that isn't Pen Cage after I'm done reading all the Pen Cage stuff, I guess.
Holy cow, Judith, you own 1,000 books? That's redonkulous. But also,
Why is that ridiculous?
that's just like a lot of books.
We own 3,000.
I know, but we're excessive. I didn't
Don't-
realize you owned.
You can't say that if we own 3,000 books in
know.
our apartment.
I'm just saying that is a lot. But yeah, tell Morgan to stop. I got a new Patricia A. McKillop book, and I've literally never read her. This is the Bards of Bone Plain. This is my favorite illustrator, is K.Y. Craft. She is absolutely stunning, and I'm pretty sure I will really like Patricia A. McKillop. And I've kind of been collecting her books in like these editions, like these nice little hardcovers. So I grabbed it. Boom.
You saw me just pick it up, I'm sure, but it's 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. I own most of his books, but
That
not
one's
this
the
one.
long one.
Not this one. This one's quite big. And it's really interesting, like the way they've designed it, like the design of the pages and stuff is kind of interesting. Anyway, get to it eventually, but I want to read all his books, so now I own this one.
Nice.
Do you want to go?
I guess. Again, I don't know about a lot of the books that I got because I was just like, well, they don't add anything to the price, and it just like this book just like I saw it and it just like spoke to my soul because like her like white hair and the cat and like the raven. It's Singer by Jean Thesman, and it just looks like a gem, doesn't it? I'm like, this looks just like delightful to read. I wonder what the copyright date is. Let's see, 2005. So it's like mid 2000s fantasy. That's like young adult, and then it says books that they recommend are some Robin McKinley, some Nancy Springer, some Patricia A. McKillop, like more Robin McKinley, like Pamela Dean, Peter S. Beagle, like a lot of the books that they recommend in the front of this. I'm like, oh, yes. Ellen Datlow, Datlow. So I'm like, it just like looked appealing. Charles DeLynch. So anyway,
Oh, jeez. This book was written in 1998, and it's about the internet. I can't wait to read
Oh,
this. That's gonna be so cringy, internet-wise. I mean,
but we own 3,000, and that's 2 of us though. So really, it's like 1,500 each.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's 2 of us. If it was 1 of us, then I'm sure it would be less, quite a lot less.
Yeah.
Like maybe even halved. Like
There's so many books that you have that I think could not care less about.
same. There's so many books that you have that I don't care. Well, I couldn't care less about. So
That's rude.
This is Dark of the Moon by John Sanford. I'm actually reading this week from the library. So I saw it at a Savers and I was like, oh, I was gonna read that. Let me grab it to own it. So I did. This is the first book in the Virgil Flowers series, which is still coming out as we speak. So I've been trying out a whole bunch of like detective / mystery fiction, whatever. these like long series that have been going on for a long time. I've been checking out a lot of them and trying to find out a lot of them more so I could see which ones I want to read and which ones I want to read all of and if I like all of them or not. Recently I read the 2 first books in the Matthew Scudder series by Lawrence Block and I liked those. So I'm on the 3rd one now. But anyway, and I'm reading the Spencer books by Robert B. Parker and then these. I'm going to read some John Connolly. So
Yeah.
anyway.
You've been reading a ton of like mysteries.
Then Greg Isles, of course, is like, he has lots of stuff. So and then I bought Broken Harbor by Thomas French. I've already read all these, but I don't own most of them. So I bought this one.
Nice. That was good to the stack as well. Yeah. I found Dust by Hugh Howey, which I'm super stoked
I mean, that's
about.
that's a really nice, like, perfect moment find because you just read and loved Wool. So.
Yeah, it was literally perfect, and I was like looking, and it was literally when I was walking away from the book section. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go look at clothes for a little bit. I like seriously like I was walking away, and Chris was like, oh, would you grab me a cart? And so I grabbed him a cart. I pushed it to him. I backed it out, and I saw it like on the end cap, just like sitting there, Dust, and I was like, I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh! And I grabbed it, and I was like, look at it, Chris. I'm really excited to read this book. I've heard that it's almost as good as the first book, and then book 3 I've heard like less than stellar things about, but I believe this is the direct sequel to Wool, and I'm freaking stoked. You're next.
Wait. Amber texted me and said, look at what books I added on Goodreads. But I think my thing isn't working correctly because I can't. Oh, is she adding me as a friend? Is this like... I can't tell. Because the Goodreads app on here is not very good. I'll have to put this in a minute. Probably on the computer. Anyway, wait, what? Sorry. I just like knocked over stuff. This is The End of All Things by John Scalzi. One of the Old Man's War books. And
I just DNF'd book 1 because I didn't like it at all.
I really like the Old Man's War series. The second one is my favorite.
There we go. There are some books that I have literally no interest in and would get rid of, but he wants to own them, so we own them.
Of course we're not going to get rid of them. I really like these books.
I know, of course not. But like if it was just me, we would not have them.
Well, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
The Ghost Brigades. The Ghost Brigades is my favorite book. And then I think... I haven't read this one yet, I'm pretty sure. The End of All Things. So, anyway. That's that.
That goes over here.
And then...
Hey, me next!
Side...
Get that out of the way. I got The Night Tiger by Yangzi Chu. I read her first book, The Ghost Bride. Is that what it's called? I don't remember. It was a while ago, but The Ghost Bride. I really enjoyed a lot of it, and then the ending I was like very let down by. I think I ended up giving it 3 stars because of that. It would have been like a 4 or 4.5 star read though if it wasn't like had such a stupid ending. And this is like brand new. I stole it from Steve because he was getting rid of it. And I was like, well, I will take that. Thank you very much. And I was actually planning on reading this like very, very soon anyway, so now I own it, which is lovely. Okay, you can go.
This is Side Jobs by Jim Butcher. It's stories from the Dresden Files. Wonderful.
Exciting.
One of the only Dresden Files books that we don't own. So.
Another book that I also took from Steve that I literally know nothing about, but I decided to take it.
I just saw that on Twitter.
For the Killings of Kings by Howard Andrew Jones. Literally know nothing about it, but I was like, fantasy with like a fairly cool cover. Like, I'll take it since it's... So I've been trying to read a lot more like new fantasy as well, like new books in general, and I was like, Steve, can I have this? And he's like, you really shouldn't, you are crazy. But I did it anyway.
You already have too many books.
But you know what,
he's always telling us we have too many books, and you know what? He has no room to talk.
This next stack is like pretty much just me, but that's fine. I'll go fast. It's the children's.
Oh yeah, right.
I got the next book in
Wow,
August.
you got a lot more than I realized.
I got the next book in Artemis Fowl because I'm about to start book 2 and this is book 3. I want to own them all so I can annotate them all physically. So now I have 3 and then I also have 4. So we're set for the next while. Gamer Girl by Mari Mancusi. I've read this in the past and I was like, I kind of want to read this again. I'm pretty sure it's going to be garbage, but I'm going to try. So You Want to Be a Wizard by Diane Duane. Kalanati really likes this book, the series, so I'm like, heck yeah. This book has been on my list forever. The Clockwork Scarab, a Stoker and Holmes novel by Colleen Gleason. It's been on my to read list for ages and ages, so I'm very excited to have found that. And then along with that, I also found The Spirit Glass Charade, which is, I think, book 2. I don't think it's book 3. I believe it is book 2, and I'm like, that was perfect. I picked up a copy of The Witch of Blackbird Pond because I want to reread this because it's a Newbery winner. This is another one that I'm just like, it has like one of those covers that just like speaks to me. That's like early 2000s. This is the first Avon edition. This is Water, book 1. Ascension. Her destiny will soon be revealed by Karen Dalkey. There we go. And it's about a mermaid. And I'm like, F yeah. Mermaids. More mermaids. This is Edith Nesbit's Wet Magic. And I've had this on my list for literally ages. I really love a lot of her books when I was younger. Like, I adored The Railroad Children. I adored The Enchanted Castle. I really liked, like, Five Children and It. The Story of the Treasure Seekers. Like, I really liked a lot of her books. So I'm hoping I will like this one, although I've heard it's, like, not her best. But mermaids. This is another one that I don't know about, but I'm interested in other books by this author, so I saw it and I'm like, I might as well grab it since I will probably read her other books. Jenny Niman is the author of Charlie Bone, and this is Griffin's Castle. Don't know anything about it, but I sure did get it. I think it's funny that Steve is telling people they own too many books. Yeah, it's a little bit...
He says it in jest. He's not actually serious. I think he says it to also say it to himself. He's like, he's constantly around. He's like, we should not be here buying more books. We're both crazy.
Anyway, Clementine by Sara Pennypacker. I've been wanting to read this for a while as well, so I was like, oh, perfect.
What a name.
I can just pick this up, Pennypacker. This one, it's like a teenage witch story, and I actually had a friend over the summer tell me, like, oh, I loved this series when I was younger, and I was like, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, I have to pick it up then. It's Bras and Broomsticks by Sara Linowski. I don't know how to say her name, but she is also the writer of, like, the Whatever After series and stuff, which is, like, fairy tale retelling, so I was like, oh, perfect. And then I also picked up, which is really funny because I just read one of her books and didn't like it, but I've heard really, really good things about Del Tora. And I have Del Tora Dragons. This is Del Tora Shadowlands, and I got book 1, book 2, and book 3. So there we go. And Del Tora Quest is what I would need to read as well. Like, I'll probably end up reading all of her books, and that's Emily Rada. And I really liked her books when I was younger, but I don't think they actually, like, lived up to the test of time. Horns and Wrinkles by Joseph Helgerson is blurbed by Gregory Maguire, which was pretty much all I needed. I grabbed that real fast. And then also another Emily Rada book is Rowan and the Keeper of the Crystal. I own the first book, so I was like, oh, I'll pick up book 2 and read all of her books, and hopefully I like them. I got this is sort of Chris. He's actually read the first book in this series.
Yes.
Nancy Farmer's Island of the Blessed.
The Sea of Trolls is the first book. I read it back when I was like, I don't even know, like 13, and I didn't even know it like continued, and then I never read the other ones, but I would love to reread that one because I really liked it when I was. That's the lady who wrote The House of the Scorpion.
Yeah, I really like that.
Which I really love, and I really like Sea of Trolls. At least I remember really, really liking it, but I had no idea that there were more books, so I would like to reread them at some point, along with House of the Scorpion and its sequel, because I've never read that. So.
Yeah, neither have I. I haven't read that one at all. I've only read, the only thing I've read by her is The House of Scorpion, which I thought was so
Yeah,
compelling.
the reason I picked up Sea of Trolls is because it has Scorpion. So.
Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. I gave into the booktube hype. This was very popular on booktube like years ago when it first came out. What was that, like 2014 probably? 2014, I was correct. And it's like always been on my radar since then, so I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna try it. Hopefully it's good. This is Gray Griffins, The Brimstone Key, book 1, the Clockwork Chronicles by Derek Benz and J.S. Lewis. And don't that look like some steampunk? And I adore steampunk, so I was like, okay, why not? I also picked up the Miraculous Journey of Edward Toolage by Kate DiCamillo. I don't think this one is like a Newbery winner, but I want to read more of Kate DiCamillo's books, and also, but now I'm like, I don't know. I want to reread the books that I've already read by her, and then I also know I never read this one as a kid. This is more just like me like being garbage for anything like early 2000s. Oh, actually this is apparently a little bit newer than I thought it was. This is 2010. That's only 9 years old. The Fairy's Promise, Silence in Stone by Catherine Dewey. And I was just like, yo, doesn't this look like something I would read as a child? Probably. Have you said you've read this?
I read it when I was like 12.
The Seventh Tower, The Fall by Garth Nix.
Let me see it real quick.
Wait, let me show them real quick. There we go. I really have.
It's the only thing I've read by Garth Nix. Well, actually, no, because I had Mr. Monday, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
The Keys to the Kingdom. I read that too. That's also Garth Nix, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I never actually continued on with this series or that series, but I read both of the first books. I don't remember anything about them or what I felt about them at all, but I remember reading them. 2000. So yeah, I bought this probably when it first came out. So I was 9 when this came out, and that's probably when I bought it. At a Scholastic Book Fair, because it's a Scholastic book.
I really adore what I've read by Garth Nix recently, so I'm super excited to read more of his like older works. And then also, I picked this up, which I am like 99% sure I've read this before. Like, I definitely have read this before. This is Shakespeare's storybook, Folk Tales That Inspired the Bard by Patrick Ryan and James Mayhew. And basically what it sounds like, it's stories that I guess inspired Shakespeare. The books in here, the stories in here that the plays that were inspired by the stories in here were The Taming of the Shrew, Romeo and Juliet, The Merchant of Venice, As You Like It, Hamlet, King Lear, and A Winter's Tale. So, and there's lovely, lovely illustrations in here as well that are just like, I really like. So I was like, oh, I should reread this, and it's quite delightful. I don't even think I opened up to the picture that I meant to, but that's fine. They're all fine. Anyway. You can go.
I saw the movie for The Hate You Give and really liked it. I thought it was good. And so I decided that, like, I didn't know, because I don't really read YA, so I just never really thought that I would even pick this up. Just, I don't know. It's not something that I would usually go to, a YA contemporary. But then I went and saw the movie because I was interested in what the story was, and I liked it. So I would like to read the book now and see like what the differences are, and see if I like the book better. Because usually I like the book better, but I did like the movie, so I thought it would be worth getting the book. There you go.
Awesome. I'm getting my workout in for the day. Crap. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Giselle's dropping her books everywhere.
I don't have too many books.
You could have taken those in more than one trip. I didn't want to say anything because you had already stacked them all on top of you, but
I brought them over in one trip. I can take them back in one trip too. And then these are the last of our books. This one I'm heck excited about. A Treasury of Greek Mythology by Donna, Jonah, Louie. This is in collaboration with National Geographic, and I've read her Treasury of Norse mythology, and I also really want to read her one of Egyptian mythology. So when I saw this, I was like really stoked. I actually read like the first like third of this during the read D&D-a-thon, and I just like wasn't in the mood. But now I'm even more inspired to read it. Now that I have the beautiful illustrations. And then I also got another Alice in Wonderland coloring book because I'm literal trash for Alice in Wonderland. And will I ever totally fill this in? Definitely not, but I definitely will have it now. And I'll probably fill like a few of them and then never touch it again.
Why?
I don't know. It's sacred. I don't want to ruin it. I also got Sister Queens, The Noble Tragic Lives of Catherine of Aragon and Joanna, Queen of Castile, by Julia Fox, author of Jane Glen. I don't know. I'm such a sucker for anything Tudor. I must read all the Tudor books, so that's what that is. The next couple are yours, baby.
Well, they're for both of us. They're PG Woodhouse.
But you grab them.
Yeah. This is all PG Woodhouse stuff. We own a lot of PG Woodhouse, and but several editions of this PG Woodhouse editions like this. And this is one that we don't own. I would like to read lots of PG Woodhouse, and some more PG Woodhouse with this like nice like orange spines, and they're like vintage Woodhouse from Penguin. So
hand-picked personal recommendations from Steve on the spot.
Yeah.
He was like, "You need to get these. They're really good." And I was like,
"Yeah."
And Chris was like, "Okay." I got Fruits Basket Volume 2 because I own number 1, and I'm gonna try to slowly start collecting these books and then also reading through them. I've read the first couple like years and years ago. I need to do that. Single-handedly, the most exciting thing that I found for the entirety of our book shopping experience is definitely Cheese Sweet Home. Part 1 by Konami Kantana. I wonder how many books this is. I don't know. I wonder if it says. But it's up through chapter 56. So it's definitely multiple volumes, and I'm thrilled about it. I'm so excited. I own this. And then I also got A Wild Swan and Other Tales by Michael Cunningham, because fairy tale retellings, how could I not? Other fairy tale retellings, The Sisters Grimm, book 3, The Problem Child by Michael Buckley. I really like the first 4 books in the series, and then they definitely like balm after that. They get really.
I would like
good.
to read them over.
But you would definitely get further than I did though, because I've only gotten through halfway through book 8, and then I was just like, I can't do another book and a half. No. So.
Okay.
I didn't finish it, so you do that, but I really like the first 4 books, so I would like to own the first 4 books, and I will continue to reread those. Book 4, I really like how that one, like, wraps up. I feel very satisfied. And then the last book, in total, actually, is not even supposed to be in this one. This is supposed to be with just the young adult, but it's Enchanté, by Gita Trulais. I stole this one from Steve as well, because it just came out, like, on the 5th. I stole this one from Steve, and he was like, it's not worth it. And I'm like, I'm gonna read it anyway. And I took it. So, anyway. Excessive amounts of books. And then also the Ace Attorney, and also the, what's its face? Legend of Zelda. And those are the excessive amounts of books that we've bought in the past day.
That's not mentioning the tons of books we bought with Steve last time, and the tons of books we bought at the book barn. All vlogs you will see very soon with lots of books that we've bought in the past several weeks. Because we're freaking nuts.
Yeah.
But it's slow. It's gonna slow down hopefully for a while.
It definitely will. For sure.
Like, we are gonna go see Steve again. And probably go buy more books.
Whoops.
But yeah, we're gonna try not to buy books outside of that. I think we can let ourselves buy books when we're with Steve, but not outside of when we're with Steve.
And honestly, like, everything is like, they're all very inexpensive as well. Where it's like, oh, this book is $1, or oh, this book was like 12 cents. Like, how can you say no to a 12-cent book that you were meaning to read at some point anyway? Or what's wrong with if you like impulse buys at that point or whatever?
Yeah.
But
we just own a lot of books.
we own a lot of books, and I definitely want to go through. I definitely want to, like, which is funny as I'm bringing all these books in. It's definitely something I want to work on this year as well. Is like, I think I'm going to do a couple rounds of Ribsat, just personally myself, read your bookshelf upon. I just choose a point in my bookcase.
I've been thinking about doing that too. Like once I have to start, because it's not something I mentioned, but I'm gonna start having a pretty long commute where I can just like sit and read. I think I'm gonna do something like pick a bookshelf and like just start at A and start reading books from A like every single day on my way to and from work, and just have lots of reading and read lots of books. So, and I'll I'll mark anything like on for mentally that's like I know I don't care about keeping, and then if you read it and you just feel the same way, then we can get rid of it. But so.
And like that's why I like also like I don't feel super motivated to read the books in our fantasy section as much because all the ones that I've like disliked recently, I've been like, oh, I want to get rid of this, and then Chris won't let me. So I'm like, I can't even get rid of the books that I dislike, which is like a little bit like unmotivating. You need to read those books too, so that we can decide whether we want to keep them or not. But like, so I think I want to do it like specifically, mostly in like the bedroom, where it's like children's books that Christopher really doesn't care about most of them. So then if I can
YA, children's, middle grade. There's some that I do really want to read, but there's a lot that I don't care about at all.
Yeah. So like I want to just like try to like get through an entire shelf like in a week or two, and just like be very ruthless, DNF as much as I want, and get rid of as many as I want, but like at least try everyone. I really don't like getting rid of books that you haven't tried to read unless it's like by an author that you read a book by that you didn't like. Like in that case I feel like it's okay, but like I personally just like don't understand the idea of like spending money on books, getting books brought into your life, and then getting rid of them just because I'm not in the mood like currently. I hear so many people say, well,
you don't have, we have luckily enough space to like house 3,000 books right now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I wish we read more. Obviously, like I wish I read more, but I'm gonna try to make that more of a priority. I'm gonna try to make reading more of a priority this year, so I can help get rid of books.
I'd be happy with the amount of books.
I know. I'm talking about me specifically. I need to work up to it because I need to help get rid of books so we can really just have books that we care about having.
Yeah.
So
it's like it's really nice, and we definitely feel like the privilege of having this many books.
Yeah.
And having the ability to be like,
we have our own personal library.
Wonderful library, yeah. But and like we're never gonna like stop buying books, but it's definitely
hopefully we'll get rid of lots of ones that we don't care about
as we read them.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh, get rid of this for the sake of it, but also like we definitely will be moving in the next couple of years, no matter what. Depending, like, we will not be in this apartment in like 2 years.
So somewhere else in Massachusetts probably for a while.
Yeah. So like no matter what though, so also because like despite just like different things in our life potentially changing, like also our landlord is kind of old and isn't particularly healthy either, so like whenever he dies, goodness knows what's gonna happen and stuff, so like we know we're not gonna be here forever. And that like really makes me think like, crap, I need to get rid of everything I don't super care about. But how do I know if I care about it if I haven't read it yet? So I want to do that. And gosh, could you hear me talking? You. Yeah, you downside your books when you made moves. 3 moves in a year, and that makes sense. My glasses are super smudged right now, and that makes sense. And I would like to get to that point as well, where it's like I don't want to own no books.
The next place we move to, I would like it to be the place we live until we leave the state. But hopefully we won't have to move too many times.
Yeah, but like, and also I just like want to have a curated collection. Like, it makes me really happy to look around our shelves and like see all these books. But it would make me even more happy.
I love
to have read.
I love seeing all the books that we have. I just like I feel
a little overwhelmed.
I feel overwhelmed, and I feel bad that I haven't read. Now that we have so many, I haven't read most of them. The vast majority of them I haven't read because we have so freaking many books, and we get rid of stuff that I have read that I didn't like.
Yeah.
So like, it is daunting. It's daunting, but I.
Even as we read books.
But when we go to places that sell books, I'm like, and I see a book that I know for a fact I'm going to read and that I want to own, I'm like, crap, I have to buy this. It's only $1. Of course I'm going to buy it.
But also, I am also getting better at seeing a book and going, oh, I know I'm going to read that. Yes, I know I'm probably going to read it in the next couple of years. It's definitely on my radar. Is it a book that I think I'm going to love? Is it a book that I want on my shelf? And if it's not those latter things, that I haven't been picking them up. So I'm getting better at that at least. So, anyway. Long talk about book owning and stuff. But yeah, definitely expect. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know when, maybe not until the summer, but I definitely want to spend a good chunk of the summer just like reading the children's books in the bedroom.
Once my Kingdom Hearts streams are over, I'm gonna be still streaming maybe like 2 nights a week instead of the 4 that I'm doing now. But I'm gonna be trying to read a whole lot more as the year goes on. I knew my Kingdom Hearts stuff would take up a lot of my time and a lot of my energy for the first few months of the year, which I was totally prepared for, and I'm like, it's fine, but I'm like, it's super in the mood for reading, so I'm excited for reading to happen more and more this year.
Yeah. So. I'm very happy with the amount I've read so far this year. But I'm also happy, I can say, with the books that I've read so far this year. Like, even if I haven't liked them, I'm reading the books that are, like, on my list for the most part, which I always, like, tend to divulge off of very quickly into the year, but, like, it makes me feel good reading the books I'm, like, intending to read and have been wanting to read for a long time. Yeah. Yeah. So. Highlight of the week. Rereading Pride and Prejudice. Highlight of the week that was not a book that I haven't already read was probably reading Begging for It by Layla Pace. I really liked that book a lot. It's the second book in the Asking For It series, and like the first book, I think is a more enjoyable read than the second book, but the second book, especially the second half of the second book, like addresses like so many topics and so many things. It's definitely like be very warned of the content in it, for like rape and like substance abuse and rape culture and abusive relationships, both physically, verbally, mentally abusive, very like manipulative families and toxic relationships, and like there's like so much in these books. But especially like the second half of the second book and all the stuff that like was going on, I was like, it was really good. And my favorite quote from it is that there's this point where she's like, right at the beginning of the book, where she's like, has to walk to her car alone at like 11 p.m. at night, and how she's like, as a woman, it's not even, you don't even think twice about it. You have the key clutched in your hand, and you are like ready to go, and you are on high alert, and you don't have the headphones in, and you are paying attention to your surroundings, and you have to do all these things as a woman. And I was just like, it's so true though, and I can like relate to that. And like whenever I have to walk alone by myself at night, like I always do the same thing, and I'm like very aware and paying attention and all that. And she says like, we spend more time teaching women how to like protect themselves from rape than we do telling men not to rape women. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it's true. But our like culture has not like cultivated men for like stopping sexualizing women and all these things, which is like the first step. So that quote, I was just like, it's true though. Later in the book, it does like also address the fact that like women aren't only rape victims, like men can be raped as well, and rapists aren't only men, like women can be rapists as well. Like it does talk about that, but that quote was just like so on point for me. I ended up listening to the Karen Savage version of Pride and Prejudice. It can be found on, on LibriVox for free. I recommend it. Karen Savage is a great narrator. My low of the week Artemis Fowl graphic novel volume 1, just the first Artemis Fowl graphic novel. Super, super boring graphic novel. I don't like the art at all. And it's such a faithful adaptation that it's literally just the speech, the conversation from the books put into the graphic novel. And so, like, you are totally missing, like, the charm of the narration and the charm of, like, what's going on in the background and in the characters' minds, which is, like, one of the best parts of the books, and seeing, like, the internal struggles of the characters and stuff. So you totally lose all that charm, and then it's just, like, really ugly art on top of that. It was, like, very disappointing. So, anyway, that was my reading week. So, anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap up now. I have to pee super badly, so like, instead of like taking a break and then coming back.
Right, we gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm like, I have work in the morning and I would like to not sleep in forever. I've been doing really well about waking up between like 6 and 6:30 every day, and I would like to keep on that train because it makes me feel like I'm actually getting stuff accomplished during the day. Because I do stuff before I leave in the morning, usually. At least somewhat. Mostly reading, but then I feel like I've actually got some reading in for the day, which is important when you're doing 30 books in 14 days challenge and you spend your time watching your husband live stream a lot because you love him and he's playing really great games. He's super good at it and they're so fun to watch, but it's also like a lot. So, good night. I will see you all next Sunday, obviously. Because new album is releasing. Oh goodness, Judith, you didn't have to stay up. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all, you are a doll, is what I meant to say, but it came out y'all. Because I'm getting tired. Anyway, I will see you all very, very soon, and expect a ton of graphic novel talking next time, because I'm going to read all the graphic novels that I got from the library this week. You watch. Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for being here. I super duper appreciate it. Look at that sweet face. You're so handsome. Okay.
Good night.
I love you. Okay. Good night, everyone.
Love you. Okay, good night. She's talking to me, by the way.